Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most profound and beautiful narratives found in the book of Genesis, the creation of water and its significance in the world around us. In the very first chapter of Genesis, we encounter a powerful depiction of creation. The narrative unfolds with a sense of order and purpose, beginning with the iconic phrase, "In the beginning." This phrase sets the stage for a transformative journey, one that introduces us to the elements that shape our existence. Among these elements, water holds a special place, symbolizing both chaos and life. As the story progresses, we see that the earth was formless and empty, enveloped in darkness. It's in this void that the Spirit of God hovers over the waters, suggesting a profound connection between the divine and the elemental. Water, in this context, represents potential and the promise of life. The act of creation unfolds in a series of divine commands. "Let there be water," God declares, and immediately the waters are separated from the dry land. This separation is not just a physical act, it symbolizes the establishment of boundaries and order in the universe. Water becomes a source of nourishment and life-giving force that sustains all living things. Water is indeed the essence of life, vital for survival, growth, and harmony in nature. As we reflect on the creation of water, we can appreciate its multifaceted role in our lives. Water is not merely a resource, it is a sacred element that connects us to the earth and to each other. It flows through our rivers, fills our oceans, and nourishes our bodies. Water has the power to cleanse, to heal, and to bring people together. In Genesis, the narrative continues with the creation of the sky, which separates the waters above from the waters below. This imagery evokes a sense of balance and harmony in the natural world. The sky, filled with clouds, reflects the beauty of water in its various forms: rain, mist, and even the shimmering surface of a lake. As we are introduced to the land and the creatures that inhabit it, we are called to care for the environment and the resources it provides. Water, as a precious gift, requires our respect and responsibility. In today's world, where water scarcity and pollution are pressing issues, this message is more relevant than ever. We must recognize our role in preserving this vital resource for future generations. Moreover, the symbolism of water extends beyond the physical realm. In many cultures and spiritual traditions, water represents purification and renewal. It is often associated with rituals of baptism and cleansing, signifying a fresh start or a new beginning. This idea resonates deeply with our human experience. Just as the earth was transformed through the act of creation, we too have the capacity for transformation in our lives. We can embrace change, let go of the past, and emerge renewed, much like the waters that flow and adapt to their surroundings. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most profound stories from the Bible, the account of Noah and the flood, found in Genesis chapter 6 through 9. This narrative is not just a tale of destruction, but a powerful message about faith, resilience, and the promise of new beginnings. The story begins in a world that had strayed far from its intended path. Humanity had become corrupt, filled with violence and wickedness. In the midst of this chaos, there was one man who stood out: Noah. Described as a righteous man, Noah walked faithfully with God. Imagine being in his shoes, surrounded by a society that had lost its way, yet holding on to hope and integrity. Noah's unwavering faith in God amidst the turmoil is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. God saw the state of the world and decided it was time for a fresh start. He chose Noah to build an ark, a massive vessel that would save him, his family, and pairs of every kind of animal from the impending flood. This wasn't just a task, it was a monumental challenge. Picture Noah, a man of faith, working tirelessly on this enormous project while facing ridicule and disbelief from those around him. Yet he persevered, driven by his conviction and trust in God's plan. As Noah constructed the ark, he was not just building a boat, he was embodying hope. Each plank he laid was a testament to his faith that something greater was on the horizon. This part of the story invites us to reflect on our own lives. How often do we face skepticism when we pursue our dreams or stand up for what we believe in? Noah's journey reminds us that faith can be a powerful motivator, even when the world seems to be against us. When the ark was finally completed, the rains began to fall. For 40 days and 40 nights, the earth was engulfed in water. It's easy to imagine the fear and uncertainty that must have filled the hearts of those aboard the ark. Yet within that vessel, there was also a sense of safety and purpose. Noah's family and the animals were preserved, a symbol of hope amidst despair. Just as Noah's family came together to face the storm, we too can find strength in our connections with others. After the floodwaters receded, Noah and his family emerged from the ark to a transformed world. The earth was cleansed, and life began anew. God made a covenant with Noah, promising never to destroy the earth with a flood again. The rainbow became a symbol of this promise, a beautiful reminder of hope and renewal. This moment is incredibly significant. It illustrates that even after the darkest storms, there is always the potential for new beginnings. The story of Noah and the flood teaches us about resilience and the importance of faith in the face of adversity. It encourages us to hold on to hope, even when circumstances seem dire. Just as Noah trusted in God's plan, we too can find strength in our beliefs and values. The Exodus. The story begins in ancient Egypt, where the Israelites found themselves enslaved, oppressed, and yearning for freedom. For years, they cried out for deliverance, and their pleas reached the heavens. In response, God chose a humble shepherd named Moses to lead his people out of bondage. Moses was not a warrior or a king. He was an ordinary man called to do something extraordinary. Moses faced many challenges, including his own doubts and fears. When God first spoke to him from the burning bush, Moses hesitated. "Who am I to lead the Israelites?" he asked. But God reassured him, promising that he would be with him every step of the way. After much struggle, including the 10 plagues that struck Egypt, Pharaoh finally relented and allowed the Israelites to leave. Can you imagine the mix of emotions as they stepped out of Egypt? There was joy, hope, and a sense of liberation, but also fear of the unknown. They were leaving behind everything they had ever known, stepping into a future that was uncertain. As they journeyed into the wilderness, the Israelites faced numerous challenges. They encountered hunger, thirst, and doubt, yet through it all, God provided for them. Even when the path ahead seems daunting, we can find comfort in knowing that we are not alone. There is a greater plan at work, and sometimes we just need to take that next step forward. The climax of the Exodus story occurs at the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army in hot pursuit. The Israelites found themselves trapped between the sea and their former captors. Panic set in, and they cried out to Moses, questioning why he had led them into such a dire situation. It's easy to understand their fear. They felt cornered with no way out. But in that moment of despair, Moses stood firm. He turned to God, who instructed him to lift his staff and stretch it over the sea. What happened next is nothing short of miraculous. As Moses obeyed, the waters parted, creating a dry path through the sea. The Israelites walked through, with walls of water towering on either side. This moment is a powerful symbol of faith and divine intervention. It reminds us that even when we feel trapped by our circumstances, there is always a way forward if we trust in something greater than ourselves. As the Israelites crossed to safety, Pharaoh's army followed, but God had other plans. Once the last Israelite had made it to the other side, the waters returned, engulfing the pursuing soldiers. This act of deliverance was not just about physical freedom. It was a profound statement about the power of faith and the importance of standing up against oppression. After their escape, the Israelites celebrated their newfound freedom with songs of praise and gratitude. They had witnessed a miracle, And we're reminded of the importance of community and shared faith. This celebration is a beautiful reminder that even in our darkest moments, we can find joy and hope when we come together. Thanks for watching.